podcast. Your host, Dr. KellyRae, is a renowned mindset coach and counselor, often referred to as the inner critic tamer. With a passion for guiding individuals through life's challenges, she specializes in personal growth and emotional healing. In each episode, Dr. KellyRae shares invaluable insights, practical strategies, and relatable stories designed to inspire you to take that first step toward positive change. So, grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready to dive deep into meaningful conversations that empower you on your journey. Let's welcome Dr. KellyRae.
Hey there, welcome back to the Getting to the Week podcast. I'm Dr. KellyRae, and if this is your first time joining me, I'm really glad that you're here. This space exists for one reason: to have real conversations about what it means to be human in a world that often feels overwhelming, uncertain, and incredibly noisy. Each week we explore emotional awareness, nervous system regulation, personal growth, and the deeper inner work that helps us navigate life with a little more steadiness and a little more compassion for ourselves. Because let's be honest, sometimes getting through the week is no small feat. And lately, I've been noticing something. Not just in conversations with people, but everywhere. Online, in the news, in the tone of conversations people are having with each other. There's this growing feeling that everything is on edge. That the world feels unstable. That something bad is always about to happen. And today I want to talk about why so many people feel that way right now. Because what's happening isn't just about world events. It's about what those events are doing to our nervous systems. If you found yourself recently feeling more tense, more alert, more emotionally reactive, more mentally exhausted, you're not imagining it. Many people are walking around right now with this nervous system operating in a near constant state of alertness. Even if nothing dangerous is happening directly in front of them. And when people live in that state long enough, something interesting happens. Everything starts to feel bigger, more urgent, more catastrophic. Even small things can start to feel overwhelming and taxing. And people start scanning the world constantly for what might go wrong next. But to understand why that's happening, we have to zoom out for a moment. Because the nervous system doesn't just respond to one event. It responds to patterns and accumulation. And over the last several years, there's been a lot of accumulation. Think about everything that's happened in the world in just the last few years. A global pandemic that disrupted daily life across the planet. Economic uncertainty that left many people wondering about their jobs, their business, and their financial stability. Political division that intensified in many countries. Wars and geopolitical tensions that dominate headlines. Think of AI, rapid technological shifts that are changing the way we live and work almost overnight. And now, ongoing global tensions that many people worry could escalate. For many people, it feels like the world never quite returned to calm after the pandemic. Instead, it just felt like one wave of uncertainty after another. And when humans experience uncertainty repeatedly without long periods of stability in between, the nervous system adapts, but not always in a helpful way. It becomes more vigilant, more alert, more watchful, almost like it's constantly bracing for the next disruption. And there's another piece of this that's important to understand. Humans were never designed to process the problems of the entire planet every single day. But now we do. Every morning we wake up, and within minutes we can see headlines from every continent. Wars, political conflict, economic warnings, natural disasters, social tension. And all of it enters our awareness before we even had our first cup of coffee. Then, add social media on top of that, where people are debating, arguing, reacting, predicting disasters, and expressing strong opinions about everything happening in the world. Suddenly, everyone's an expert. Your nervous system is absorbing all of that. Even when you think you're just casually scrolling, your brain is constantly evaluating. Is this a threat? Should I be worried? Is something bad about to happen? And here's the thing, your nervous system doesn't always differentiate between direct danger and perceived danger. To the body, information can feel like threat. Now, layer in the everyday pressures people are already dealing with. The cost of living increasing in many places, housing becoming more expensive, healthcare cost, people working harder while still feeling financially stretched, parents worrying about their kids' future, grandparents wondering what kind of world their grandchildren are going to grow up in. Add that to the pressure many people feel just trying to keep up with daily responsibilities. Work, family, bills, health, relationships. It's a lot. And when all of that exists alongside global uncertainty, the nervous system starts carrying a very, very heavy load. And there's another dynamic happening that intensifies all of this. When people feel uncertain or afraid, they look for certainty. They look for assurance. They look for familiarity. Something to hold on to. An explanation. A narrative. A belief that makes the world feel more understandable. That's one of the reasons you see so many people online expressing very strong, very certain opinions right now. Because certainty feels stabilizing to the nervous system. It gives the brain something solid to grab onto in the middle of uncertainty. But when millions of people are doing that at the same time, you get what we're seeing now. Loud opinions, strong reactions, people in arguing their views, some even to their own death. Everyone trying to make sense of a world that feels unpredictable. Here's the thing. When your nervous system stays in a heightened state for long periods of time, several things start happening. People become more reactive emotionally. They feel more easily overwhelmed. Their thoughts can become more catastrophic. They begin expecting worst-case scenarios more quickly. And many people don't even realize that their nervous system is driving their reactions. They think they're just being realistic or paying attention. But sometimes what's actually happening is the nervous system is on overload, more often than not. Your brain is trying to process more potential threats than it was ever designed to handle. Here's the thing, when people get caught up in this cycle of constant vigilance, they often forget something very important. They stop taking care of themselves. They stop resting their minds. They stop giving their bodies the signal of safety they actually need. Sleep becomes more difficult. Breathing becomes more shallow. A lot of chest breathing, a lot of sighing happening. People move less physically. They spend more time in front of screens and less time in nature. They scroll late at night, trying to stay informed, trying to understand, trying to feel prepared. But in the process, your nervous system never gets a break. Here's the hard truth many people are wrestling with right now. We don't have control over most global events. We don't control geopolitical conflicts. We don't control economic shifts. We don't control the behavior of millions of people online. And when humans feel like they lack control, their nervous system often tries to compensate. It tries to analyze everything, predict everything, prepare for every possible scenario. But there's a limit to how much mental control can actually create safety. In fact, constantly trying to mentally manage an unpredictable world can actually increase anxiety. The brain keeps encountering information it cannot resolve. Is it any wonder that as anxiety increases and we're doing less and less to regulate our nervous system, and maybe perhaps choosing pharmaceutical medications to try to curtail or support or help us with our anxiety, that it's not even working, right? It's truly one of those things that's an inside job for us to do. This is where nervous system regulation becomes so important. It is vital for your existence. I know that sounds really extreme and dramatic to say that. But so many are already operating in that extreme side of nervous system dysregulation, right? By just the mere things I've said. Constant conversations about things that we have absolutely no control over whatsoever, as if somehow keep talking about it with other people in the hopes of, in those conversations, having agreement with somebody else, because then it feels a little bit safer if someone else is thinking and feeling the same way we are, right? It's temporary. Because that same person that may agree with you on one matter may totally oppose another thing that you think about. And then it's just starting all over again, right? This is where we have to be the gatekeepers of our own mind, our own nervous system, our own thoughts, our own responses. Because while we may not be able to control the external world, we absolutely influence our internal world, which basically just gets mirrored through the outside world. Your nervous system can learn to return to steadiness, even in uncertain times, not ignoring reality, but creating internal safety through breath, through rest, through emotional awareness, through learning when to step away from the noise, through reconnecting with your body, through remembering that not every headline requires your nervous system to respond. I have a question for you. If you've been feeling more on edge lately, I want to invite you to ask yourself something gently. Am I responding to the world, or am I reacting from a nervous system that's been carrying too much for too long? That question alone can create a moment of awareness, a pause, an allowance for a nice full deep breath. And sometimes that pause is enough to shift out of an automatic reaction. It's so easy to get caught up, especially when you have a world that's very noisy and has been very noisy for the last number of years. It's likened to a snowball that's on the top of a mountain. It may start off small, but as it rolls downhill, it gets larger and larger and more momentum. And if we're not mindful of it, it's going to just take us out, right? And that's kind of what's been happening over the last number of years, is just back to back to back of one, oh no, this, oh no, that, oh, this is terrible, oh, and then just lots of screaming and yelling and intentional languaging being used to keep you on edge, to keep you connected to catastrophizing, to worst case scenarios of, oh, this is all danger. As we begin to wrap up this week's episode, I want to remind you that the world has always gone through periods of uncertainty. But the modern world delivers that uncertainty to our awareness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And human nervous systems are still adapting to that reality. So if you've been feeling more tense, more overwhelmed, or more emotionally exhausted lately, please know that you're not alone in this experience. And more importantly, there's nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system is responding exactly the way nervous systems respond to prolonged uncertainty. The work now is learning how to care for it, how to give your body moments of calm again, moments of quiet, moments where you remember that even when the world feels chaotic, you can still return to steadiness inside yourself. And that inner steadiness changes how you move through everything else. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And as always, be gentle with yourself this week. Be mindful and pay attention to how you're either responding or reacting to everything that's happening around you. Are you being mindful and paying attention to when you're pausing? Are you being mindful of whether you're actually carving time out each day to get some physical movement, to hydrate? And I know those seem simple and all of that, but they're essential, right? Sometimes it's the simplest of things that can help get us back on track and calm our nervous system down. Look, we're all navigating a complicated world right now together. And I thank you for tuning in each week just to allow yourself 15, 20 minutes of just being present. And hopefully, as I stated earlier in this, that the intention of this podcast is to help give you that space of calm, maybe help you tap back into those aspects of yourself to help you regulate your own nervous system, to help you navigate through your week so that you can spread that on to others, and together we can see differences around the world. Until next week, as always, I send you so much.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Getting Through the Week podcast with Dr. KellyRae. If you're looking to connect with her or schedule an appointment, here's how you can reach her. Follow her on Instagram at AskDrKellyRae. Check out her Facebook page at Dr. KellyRae. Find her on TikTok at Dr. KellyRae. Visit her website at drkellyrae.com. Or send her an email at drkellyrae@gmail.com. Until next week, Dr. KellyRae sends you so much love.